firstly, let me introduce my guest who doesn't really need an introduction, which is Theera, who is the CEO of Midland Langar. Theera, as you know, this is like a special blog around mental health that really does need to be spoken about. And you kindly decided to like talk about your journey with myself. So, firstly, I just want to say thank you. And I know it's been a difficult ride, but it's a journey you're still on. So, firstly, I just wanted to ask how you doing?
Hi, Sunita. You know what? Firstly, I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling myself again. Feel
Good.
getting there, feeling normal. So,
Hmm.
well, I'm prepared to do this vlog.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Because I know before when I did ask you, you were
yeah,
just
yeah,
not in the right place, but
yeah, yeah,
it's great to know that you are feeling better
yeah.
or getting there. So before we start everything off, can you tell me what you knew about mental health before your diagnosis?
Um, Mental health. I mean, to be honest, we've been seeing it for the past 7 years since MLSS was established. Seeing people on the streets, without homes, um, vulnerable people suffering from loneliness, suicidal people. So we've always seen it, and we've always sort of thought about them.
Yeah,
Thinking that obviously they're suffering because they're on the streets, and but we did, but I did really, me personally, I didn't realise that it can happen to anybody,
yeah,
especially I mean myself and yourself.
yeah.
We've got everything, we've got homes, we've got families, and I really didn't realise it can happen to us as well.
So when did you kind of realize there was something not right within yourself?
I started. It was about 2000 and say late 2014. About a year after we started MLSS, I
Yeah,
um, I started feeling down. Started losing my confidence. I've always been a very confident person. I've always sort of been the sort of person that can adapt to anybody. And then
yeah,
all of a sudden started feeling down, lost my confidence, started getting anxiety as well. Um, and I started hating myself, believe it or not. And yeah, and from there I thought, hang on, something's not right. This isn't you. You know,
mm,
you've always sort of been popular in your circle of friends. That's not just our circle of friends now, but even at school as well,
yeah,
school, college, um, in the family, I've always been popular as well, being the oldest.
yeah,
When we did about work as well, when we was doing the security in the clubs, I was always popular, not with just my staff, but with a lot of the doormen around the town, and even the police as well. Do you understand? And
mm,
then all of a sudden, I've lost my confidence. I'm feeling low, feeling down. Started hating myself, and I thought, whoa, that ain't me. There's something wrong there.
mm. What made you start hating yourself?
Um, you know what? I think little things. Am I doing something wrong? You know,
Mm,
um, I've I've changed my life. To better myself. To make sure my family's happy. You
yeah,
know, my wife's happy, my mum's happy, brothers and cousins and whatever. So I changed my life. To better myself and set up MLSS, got involved with Carlton 8 first. I got involved as soon as I joined the City Path. When I joined
mm,
the City Path, I stopped mixing with a lot of people, a lot of my friends, simply because there's all drinking, smoking, and the usual. Even my family, my cousins, brother, and there's all sort of in the song that I didn't want to be anymore.
Yeah.
So I approached Ravi Singh, and I gave him a call. So, bro, this is Randhir Singh. New to Sikhi, and I want to do something positive. You know, I've always been a charitable person anyway, and so he sort of opened his arms. He says, "Look, bro," he goes, "most definitely." He goes, "Let's link up." And then from there, I got into that Sangat with Brav, with Khalsa Aid, watching, looking after the West Midlands team, Khalsa Aid West Midlands team. I was new to Sikhi. I was new to, you know, I mean, I've always done charity work. I hadn't been involved in a charity. So when I got involved in charity, I remember speaking to Rav actually. You know, Rav was quite close to me. You know, he's like an older brother, and you know, he got him saying, he goes, "Look, he goes, he goes, there's a lot of hater," and I thought, nah, can't be that bad, man. You know, can't be that bad. You know, and so that was that until until it happened to me. You know, so yeah.
Before medication, like what were your symptoms?
Before medication, I was little things triggered me off. Little things triggered me off. I was paranoid. I was having mood swings. I was grumpy at home. You know, I'd come back from Seva, and I was just sitting there, and you know, my wife and kids would be talking to me, and it'd just be through the one ear out the other. You know, I lost concentration.
People were making you feel that way, or do you think it was more within yourself?
It was people. I experienced a lot of hate from my own community. You know, and I just couldn't figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
You know? I remember around about 2012 in Coventry, there's a big meeting at Midland Langar Seva, and I got chatting to a young lad. This young lad, he's new to Sikhi. He had a short beard, and I was quite new to Sikhi as well. Since I was in the path, and so I got chatting to this lad, and this lad was saying, he says, "I've got a vision. You know, my vision. I want to take Barjar out to the streets. You know, I want to raise awareness for Sikhi. Instead of the Barjar and the four walls of the Gurdwara, I want to take it out to the streets." And I says, "Wow." I says, "You know what? My vision is, I want to take Langar out to the streets where it's needed." You know, we sort of clicked, and you know who this person was? This person was Jagraj Singh from Base of Sikhi.
Oh, yeah. He was a wonderful man.
Oh, every time I bumped into him, I mean, you know, then obviously we set up MLSS, and Base of Sikhi was set up, and every time I bumped into him, you know, he was like, Singh is smashing it. You know, I set the vice verses, and you know, and it was good. Maybe this was the Seva Maharaj wanted to give us, you know, the Barjar and the Langar. It's always been the full water of the Gurdwara.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I choose myself. I feel blessed in one way that, you know, Maharaj chose someone like myself to take it out to the streets where it's needed. Because that's what Langar is. So go back to your question, I just couldn't figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And that was eating me. It was eating me over and over again.
Like, what was your breaking point? Like, what led you down that path of depression?
A couple of incidents at a certain Gurdwara where, you know, the Gurdwara where we used to cook the food. I mean, we still do it now, but I mean, at that time the committee was very awkward. There was very anti-MLSS, and they threatened to stop us using their kitchen, even though we wasn't taking anything off them, you know, donation-wise. if anything, all the food donation was ours. We even offered to pay £21, £51 to use their gas. Them just being awkward. And, you know, it got to a stage where we sort of did a petition, you know, with the Sangat, and all the Sangat was on our side. You know, they supported us. And the one day, my wife, my mum, and one of our sisters from MLSS, they've gone to the Gurdwara to cook the food, and they've had 3 doormen there. There's 3 doormen that, you know, they're standing in the doorway. You know, I wouldn't say there's aggressive for any old lady to be refused to a kitchen to a Gurdwara by a doorman. It's horrible. And then there's about 15, 20 committee members on the table, I remember, you know, smirking. And that ate me up. That ate me up. In my mind, I kept thinking, it's Randhir, you know, it's a test. It's a test.
And that's not what you expect to go when you go to a Gurdwara, is it?
Yeah, not at all. And, you know, I was thinking, no, it's a test. You know, keep it calm, take a deep breath. Very disheartening for somebody who's joined the Sikhi path to change his life, you know, and then seeing this in his own community, at the very Gurdwara where the Gurdwara that chose the first letter of his name, you understand? You know, I've been going there since childhood, and, you know, our granddad, my nana, when they come from India back in the day, they contributed towards building it. And then all of a sudden you just been sort of pushed away from your own community because you joined the Sikhi path.
Yeah.
So instead of supporting you, they sort of dragging you down.
Yeah.
And then there was a build up. Every time I went to the temple, every time I went to the Gurdwara, it was like, you know, I could see people from the corner of their eyes looking at me as if I'm an alien or something. You understand? And it was horrible, and that just ate me up. Yeah. Breaking point. I mean, that happened for a few years. Then obviously Heer came with it. People from my own community. You know, funny enough, all the other towns not an issue. You know, old friends changing towards me. People trying to stir between myself and Ravi, you know, Ravi Khalsa.
Yeah.
You know,
so turn it into a competition.
Yeah, it was like the people I've known all my life, and all of a sudden, you know, I've introduced them to, you know, the Khalsa team, and, you know, then all of a sudden they've pushed me out the way. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And now, that's not my character. You know, I can only just say, oh, been there and done it. You know, I've worked all over the country, worked with some of the top doormen in the country, you know, from all faiths, Muslims, black, white, Polish, and I work with men, you know, and this is childish. This is not playground stuff, and this. So that really upset me. People in India, you know, friends I made in India, you know, I made friends with their mums and dads and their brothers and sisters. We ate together, and, you know, all of a sudden these people stopped talking to me because of people shit stirring. You understand? And now I always say, you know, never judge anybody by the opinion of others.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You know, always get to know the person yourself. You know, and I can honestly say, you know, look, if it wasn't for me changing my life during the Sikhi path, I don't think I would have been here, Sunita. God's honest truth. I joined the Sikhi path to, you know, help my families, you know, help myself become a better person. You know, I did not expect this at all. Wow.
We touched base before where an incident happened where you got home and you spoke to your wife. Can you tell me like a little bit what happened down that path where she realised?
Was always eating me. You know, I've seen certain members in MLSS change towards me as MLSS was progressing, as we was getting the recognition. Not that we did it for the recognition. You know, obviously, you know, we have to be a registered charity. The more MLSS grew, the more people who I've bent over backwards for, who I've done a task for. In my time, Mareras, these are the people I've done a task for, not for myself. You know, I hope everything works out for them.
Yeah.
You know, certain people, one person I even, one of the people, one of the guys I was willing to be his patroller, you know, and this person changed towards me, you know, and so I was saying, then I was thinking to myself, am I doing anything wrong? What am I doing wrong? You know, so all this was eating me up anyway. And then 2019, I was in India for 3 months. 3 months, we were to set up a new project, Guru Nanak Asra. And so that wasn't a good experience at all, to be fair. You know, when you go to India for a holiday, it's different. You know, you go there sightseeing, but when you go there for work or any project, it's very hard to adapt to the people there. You know, it doesn't matter who they are, even if it's your own family. And again, it was constant mind games, you know, being accused of silly things, as in, you know, doing somebody over for £20. You know, and you think, wow, a couple of the new members of staff who was going to take over, who was going to recruit, you know, I thought if folks spent 3 months with them, you know, see what they're about before, because, you know, Guru Nanak Asra isn't just an orphanage, it's Guru Nanak's, do you understand? It's his, and, you know, it's theirs, so it's got to be something special. And so a couple of guys took them on, and constant mind games, constant stupidity, constantly in your face, and not giving you breathing space, you know, every sentence using the swear words, you know, the Punjabi swear word.
Yeah, of course.
It was horrible, and it was hard. And to be honest, I was supposed to be going to Pakistan. That's always been my dream.
Yeah.
To do the Sikhi path. I've got friends, Muslim friends that are near Nankana Sahib, and they've said, you know, whenever you go there, you know, you're more than welcome to stay at our house, and we'll send our family to take you around, you understand? You know, because I'm one of those people, I'll get on with everybody, and that's my character. So that's always been my dream. And I actually, for Gurupurab, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's 550th birthday, we arranged a trip to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I had to cancel that, you know, so my mum, my family, you know, loads of other members of MLSS, including Palmer, they all went to Pakistan. And I thought, look, if Maharaj put my seva here in Jalandhar, then I'm going to do this seva. So I'll cancel that. And so, you know, that was a bit upsetting, but you know what, it's Maharaj Sukham. You know, Maharaj wanted me there to do this project, and hey ho, it's their hukum, you know. And so my mum, as soon as, I mean, she was missing me like mad. She's phoning me every single day. Have you eaten anything? You know, in my brief, in my luggage, in all my bags, she put chocolate bars there, cereal bars there, and you know, and
Another's love. That's another's love.
yeah, and then the one day she phoned me. She says, "I'm coming to India after straight from Pakistan." I says, "Why?" You know, she says, "Look, no." She says, "I'm really missing you." Do you understand? And so in one way, I felt relieved. You know what? At least Mum will be here. You know what I mean? Went to pick her up, and she'd call me every morning. You know, come on, I've got your bread here made and this and that. So I'll go there. So I felt much better. And then December the 12th was my daughter's graduation in UK. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I would have stopped there till about Jan. And so December, I'll come back to UK. When I come back to UK, you know, bear in mind I hadn't seen my family for about 3 months. I've been there since early September, and I came, I walked in like a zombie, you know, and you know, the kids were excited to see me. My wife is excited to see me. Even my dog was jumping all over me, you know what I mean? And you know, my family, friends, was all excited to see me, and I was like a zombie. And then, you know, I'd say for about 4 weeks, you know, I just stopped at home, draw the curtains in my living room, didn't want to see anybody, didn't want to talk to anybody. And I remember even on the graduation day as well, in the morning, I had a very big panic attack, I had an anxiety attack. My kids had gone into one car before us, and you know, we was about it was about half hour late. We even missed the graduation. I've only got one daughter, you know. I was so excited, and you know, I had it pictured and we were wearing this suit, wear this bag, and curl my much up, and you know what I mean. And I missed that, you know, missed the graduation, but we got there for the photograph. That's about it. So now my daughter's very disheartened, you know, and obviously, but I don't think they realised what I was going through.
Yeah, you kept it to yourself.
Yeah. I kept it to myself, and you know, and then finally I opened up to my wife. Yeah, she was shocked. Yep.
How did you tell her?
We for a few weeks, I'd just draw the curtains. I'd get up in the morning, and just lie around, switch my phones off, switch the TV off, and the one day I just had a breakdown, a very big breakdown. And to be honest, I couldn't even believe what I'm doing. You know what I mean? You know, I'm hearing voices in my head, and I had a breakdown and just cracked up and just cried. And but the thing is, I didn't understand what I'm crying for. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know, just cried, and I sort of sat in the car. I didn't want my kids to see me seeing their dad in that state.
Yeah.
And then she took my wife took me for a drove around for about 2 hours, and I was initially screaming in the car seat, you know, and I'm thinking, wow, what's happened here? Are you the same? Are you the same Randhir? Are you the same mixing? I'm known as mixing in a lot of my friends call me mixing. You know, are you the same mixing? What's happened to you? You know what I mean? And I was crying.
Years of pent up frustration.
Yeah. And so yeah, drove around for about two hours, and I remember putting up on the traffic lights, and the car next to me, I was crying that loud. I think even they could hear me as well. That there's a couple in the car and they're looking over and that, and you know what, I felt like shite. I hated myself. You know, I didn't belong in this world. You know, I didn't want to be here. And you know, my wife couldn't understand. She said, "No, what's up with you? You know, you got everything. What have you got? You know, you got beautiful kids. You know, you got a beautiful family. You got me. You know, you got very good friends around you. You know, you've got a house. You know, there's people out there. You know, look at the people you see on a daily basis. You know, and I just couldn't understand. And I told her, I've got a depression. That was when this was on a Sunday, and then on the Monday, she's got in touch with the doctor, and the doctors sort of gave him an emergency appointment, and luckily he's somebody, you know, he knows what we do anyway. What MLSS does, he's driven past the Birmingham and the Walsall feed a few times.
Yeah.
And the first thing he said was, he says, "Look, Mr. Singh," he says, "you know what you do, you know, the amount of people you help on a weekly basis." He says, "You know what?" He goes, "I want to help you." He goes, "That's my deed." Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And so I had a couple of appointments with him. Went counselling again. You know, when I was sitting down talking to the counsellor, I was cracked up, I was crying, and you know, she said, "Well, you know, you're a strong man. Look at the amount of good stuff you do. You know,
I mean,
what
is
is
that
it?"
time where you were feeling like you said you felt like shit? I mean, did you ever have any kind of like suicidal thoughts or self-harm, or did you ever feel like that? Was it
No,
more how you felt inside?
you know what, Sunita? No, if you had asked me this question about I'd say 3 months ago, I would just know. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm being straight up. I did. You know, the one day, I was sitting down, I was meditating, and I looked over to the garden, looked over towards a tree, and I had planned I'm going to go in the garage, get the white step ladder, get that, put it in the tree, and yeah, look, I had the thought, I'm going to go in the garage, get the white step ladder, get my blue bug. I can even tell you which bug, which turban I was going to use. So I go in the garden. I'm scared of height, you see. Right. I'm going to go in the garden, 2 steps up, do it, and then kick the ladder off, and you know, and you know what? You know, God's honest truth. In my meditation, I even saw myself. Right, I'm going extreme now, but I think I need to tell.
I feel like you need to tell what you went
Yeah. So I saw myself, but then you know, that was that, and then I thought, you know, I'm going to do it. I don't want to live in this world, and this world's horrible. Horrible people, jealousy, you know. It's something what we've never seen as a family, you know, from childhood. We've never seen, you know, honesty, loyalty, being a good person. It's in our breed. It comes from our ancestors. It comes from our
going through a lot of pain for you to doing something like that. And I think people forget, like, it's not a coward thing to do. It's just because you feel like there's nothing else for you to do. Like you just, mind's not there.
Yeah. And then my first proper job, you know, as doing security in the field of security, the only quality you needed was not education, not degrees or whatever. It was loyalty, right? Honesty, which I had. So that's why we done very good in the security game. You know, straight away I was put in with, at the age of 19, I was put in with people in you know, guys in their 40s and much older than me, and they held my hand and taught me well. You know, so loyalty is in my blood. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, bang! I'm seeing the cruel world. You know, I'm seeing hate, and I'm seeing jealousy, my own friends. You know, people that I don't even know that dislike me. You know, there's been situations where, like, you know, somebody who's got an issue with me. What they've done is they've created a gang, a hate gang that let's all
gang up on this person.
not physically, but let's mentally bully. You understand? So I would say a lot of it was mentally being mentally bullied. Physically, you know, I've always been the person I can handle myself. You know what I mean? So physically, it's not an issue.
suffered a lot of loss as well, which happened quite quickly, didn't it? You had one death in the family, then you
Yeah,
did
I mean, to be honest, you know what? When I joined the Sikhi path, I realised that it's part of life. We're all going to die. You know, yes, I was 19 when my father passed away. Then my jaja passed away after my grandparents, my granddad, my grandmother, they passed away, and it was all from sudden death. So yes, we kids then, when you're kids, you don't understand. Yes, if there was a system at our Gurdwara to explain to you that this is a cycle of life, this is what happens, it's normal. Maybe it would have been okay, but okay, it took a few years. I wouldn't say we ever get over it. We just get used to,
Yeah.
we just get used to sort of, with them not being there. Do you understand? Spiritually they're here anyway. So obviously so when I joined the Sikhi path, sort of started realizing that that's life. It wasn't easy. It wasn't, I'll be selfish if I would turn around and say, for me, not, let alone me, for any of the family, it wasn't easy for anybody. My cousins, my uncles, my mom, brothers, sisters. It wasn't easy for anybody. So
like in regards to like going through the situation you were going through, do you think because part of you thought, oh, I'm a man, I just have to like deal with it and not tell anybody? Did you think that's part of you and that's what you did? Because you felt like you had to be the strong one?
Yeah.
Because men don't talk about mental health really.
No.
Very slowly now people are doing it.
Yeah, after my breakdown, I thought, look, you need to open up. You've told your wife, break your ego, because by me keeping to myself, it's ego, isn't it? Because I don't want anybody thinking that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I thought, break your ego and tell everybody, because by you opening up, that was my first step, of my strength. Do you understand? Yeah. Opening up does not mean you're weak. Opening up is your first step. If you can't open up,
and this is what I say to a lot of people, like, it's better to talk about it than keep it in, because it will just fester and fester till you like
opening up doesn't mean you're weak.
No, it doesn't.
It's a sign of strength. Opening up, is the first step. And to be honest, when I opened up, I felt relieved. I went down to see Dal Benji, one of the sisters worked with us in MLSS. Went down to see her, had a coffee, and you know what? I cried in front of her. And she was like, "You do that," you know what I mean? And even she was upset and that, and but it was.
I think they probably got upset because they just didn't realise.
Yeah.
Going through that and no one knew. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, do you feel like you were wearing a mask? You feel like you were living like a life that just didn't feel like yours? Is that what you felt?
Yeah, I'd say it's 100%. 100%. I wore a mask for years. When I joined the Sikhi path, 2010 until 2013, I was like a lion. I was untouchable, mentally, physically strong. Reached all my personal bests in the gym. You name it. I felt untouchable. And then 2010 and then 2013, when we set up MLSS, that's when I started seeing the stupidity in our community. So yes, I'd say from around about 2015, 2015, I was myself. You know, I can honestly say I wore a mask. You know, behind the mask was a very broken man. You know, a lot of the times you see me on interviews on TV, see me on BBC channels or you know, any other time you saw me on TV. Prior to that, I had anxiety attacks. You know, I was very scared. I was frightened. All that was because of the hate I was getting from certain people.
Yeah.
It made me feel very little. You understand what I'm trying to say? And
in front of the camera, in front of other people, you would never have even known. You would never even known what you were going through until
you know, yeah, I was very good at sort of hiding my feelings. You know, the amount of times I've bent over backwards for people, helped people, and you know, they would never have thought, you know, they automatically thought that I'm okay. Do you understand? With me, it was like a therapy. You know, helping somebody else, you know, making somebody feel okay, you know, made me feel better.
Do you think people kind of clocked on that something wasn't right with you? Or do you feel that you hid it so well that no one actually knew?
I hid it very well. I think the only person that clocked on was Palmer, you know, because 1 minute I'll be okay, the other minute I'll just flip over very silly things. You understand now? You know, Palmer to me is not a friend; he's a brother. You know, and I think my own brother clocked on as well. You know, little things were getting to me, little things, little minor things were getting to me. Or on the other hand, when I was at the street feeds and when I mingled with the service users, I felt good because I could reach in. Do you understand? You know, I remember standing there once and, you know, I seen this Muslim lad standing in the queue and he looked very sad, he looked very down. And I've walked over to him, says, brother, are you okay? You know? And he says, no, he said, I've had a really bad day. And I've opened my arms, said, come here, bro, give me a hug. Gave him a hug, hugged him, held him tight. But by me holding him, it was a therapy for me. You know, at the same time, I'm meditating, saying, why you? And
that's what you needed a hug.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, I've let him go. And the guy had tears in his eyes. And he says, look, bro, he says, every day I pray to Allah, I do dua to Allah for you. You understand? He goes, you guys have kept me warm. He goes, you guys given me food. He goes, my family disowned me. I'm homeless. He goes, look at me, I've got nothing. You know, then, you know, when, so I took him to one side and had a heart to heart with him. And I made sure that he felt much better. And, you know, before he went, he says, look, bruv, he goes, God's on his truth. He goes, I feel really better. You know, so every time I see him now, sometimes if I'm not there, he'll be asking, you know, where is he? Where is he? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And with me, that's therapy. It doesn't matter who you are, you know, it doesn't matter what colour, creed, religion you are, you know, I see God in all. You know, I think that's why I got very disheartened when, you know, I seen the real colour of some people. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
We've all been there. We've all been there with people. People you think that were your friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's the disheartening part. People you trusted, like you said, loyalty is such a big thing.
Yeah.
And some people don't know what that is.
You know, a lot of it's jealousy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not interested in statuses, or I'm not interested in money. You know, all I want to do is help people.
Yeah.
You know, if I was interested in all that, then we would have done MLSS, you know, every single day for the past 7 years. Do you understand?
Well, sometimes if someone's in that much pain, I don't think they're thinking.
Yeah. And then, you know, that's when I started asking myself questions. What is your problem, you idiot? You've got everything, you know. You've got a beautiful family, you know, you've been blessed with Seva, with fantastic Seva, you know, you've been blessed with Sikhi, you know, you've got good friends
It
around
does make
you.
me feel very sad that you were going through that and the fact that you were having these thoughts. Do you know what I mean? You must have been in a lot of pain. I mean, now you obviously can talk about it, but you know, I can't even imagine what you were going through then.
So, you know, so you don't really talk to yourself, you know, you ask yourself questions. It all came down to jealousy from other people used to be members of MLSS. Do you understand? You know, talking about the jealousy and okay, if I'm doing charity, I'm feeding hungry people. That's what I'm doing. Do you understand? You know, I'm not making millions. I'm not making.
No.
Do you understand? People will not understand what the blessings of marriage is. People will never understand what Gerba is. I can hands down heart. I thought to myself, look at the amount of blessings Maharaj's given me. Look at the Gerba he's done me. Right. We used to go to the feed in Palmer's car, right? And his car boot used to open. He used to but once the boot opened on the motorway, and the motorway M6, the first lane, just near Junction 7, was full of chickpeas, chickpea curry.
No.
Right, and the boot used to fly open, and so there's me shouting at Palmer, blah 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 blah, you know, this and that. And you know, today we haven't reached out to people. You know, today we've got about good 20 odd fans, and you know, and
the bus.
We donated a car for God's sake. We didn't ask for a car. You know what I mean? These are the miracles of Waheguru. These are the miracles of Tantan Siddhi Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. People will never understand that. Do you understand? People automatically think you're doing something wrong. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
There's fall down to jealousy. Or the fact that they think your charity's got too much recognition and they don't like it. But it could be a million things, but you can't please everybody. You just got to do what you've got to do. That's your own journey and what MLS stands for.
I've sacrificed my own happiness, sacrificed my own health. You know, I've left home, you know, for 3 months. I forget, gone to India for 3 months. I suffered there for 3 months. You know, seeing negativity, seeing horrible people that constantly want to rob you, you know, because you're from abroad. Do you understand? And I've seen all that and all this, right? And so when I ask myself a question, what is your problem? You know, there's a solution for everything. And what's your problem and what's the solution? So my problem was that I was so concerned about the people who've changed towards me. The funny thing is that
I do it myself. I always like thinking, why is this person not talking to me, or why have they changed, and what have I done? But you don't look at actually, it might actually be them who has a problem. Actually, it might not.
The thing is, right? Look, God's honest truth. I know every single person that's got an issue with me because it comes back to me. These are the people, budgie this, budgie that, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 right? But I know. That's what upset me. You know, there's no real people left. You was happier when you was in your past life because you was a real people. Black, white, Muslims or whatever, right? Oh, no, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I didn't join the Sikh path for that.
No.
Not saying earlier on, when we set up MLSS, you know, I thought I'm going to do something back to basics. What's the basic of Sikhi? Just be a good person. Don't lie. don't hurt anybody, see God in all, so we thought, okay, we take Langar to the streets. That's when I met Jagraj, and then it's very disheartening. I mean, I speak to a lot of people that's come from not a good life and changed their life, and they've seen all this stupidity, all this organisation fighting with each other, want to hurt each other, want to see each other.
There is a lot of hate in the world.
Yeah, and
it's happening a lot. I mean, I want to ask you one thing. I mean, how important is your well-being now? Looking back on everything that's happened, how important is it to you now?
Now, Sunita, my well-being is my priority. Is my priority. If I don't look after myself, how am I going to carry on my seva? How am I going to look after other people? I've got people that rely on me, especially in India, Guru Nanak Ashram. I've got elderly people that's been kicked away, kicked out their homes by their children who are on drugs, that rely on me. Do you understand? By me not looking after myself, right, and damaging my own health, I'm actually doing bad because I ain't going to be able to help them. You understand?
I mean, you're now like on the road to recovery. You're looking well. You look like you've lost a lot of weight. So what have you done in terms of like your road to recovery? Yeah, you're looking well. Your mucha looks very well too.
I'll tell you what. I'm more confident. Right, I'm open. I'm happier. You know what? This world's a beautiful place. Can I honestly say, this is the person who hates the world. I got bike riding in the mornings. Did 42 miles yesterday. We could drive to the farm. We got 7:30 in the morning, seeing positive people, elderly couples walking up and down. Good morning, on the bike, pedaling away, and it's nice, no negativity, and it's all how you make it out to be, it's all down to you. And I'll tell you what, I don't bottle things in no more. Bottle things up, sorry. I don't bottle things up no more. If I've got something on my chest, I'll just say, I'm open. Again, I would say, opening up does not mean you're weak. It's a sign of strength.
Yeah. Obviously we've got COVID that's been happening and still going on. Has that kind of affected how you've been feeling, being in lockdown? I know you've still been doing the feeds and things, but
yeah.
Or have you been okay? Because I know a lot of people have suffered because of lockdown.
I think the only way it affected me was gym, with the gyms being shut. Because gym, again, is part of my life. It's not just about going there to be physically fit. It's about being mentally fit as well.
Yeah.
You see like-minded people, you have a banter, you have a laugh. When people that train in a gym, they'll tell you it's not in a gym, you're all one family, especially if you're going to a place for a very long time. It doesn't matter what religion or colour you are, you're all one family, you have your own banters. So I think that affected me. And the part of the lockdown didn't affect me at all. To be honest, if anything, we got busier. So that kept my mind more occupied, with the food parcel deliveries for the people who are self-isolating. Kept us busy, and obviously on the street feeds as well. It wasn't as easy as it normally is, because a lot of the people were hungry. They've not eaten anything all day. The towns were shut, so the general public wasn't buying them the odd pasty and hot chocolates, whatever. So when they was coming to the feed, they were really sort of ratty. So that kept us on our toes, whereas normally it would take us about about half hour, 45 minutes, and you know, we was getting that many people. It's taken roughly about 1.5 hours. Plus, we took on some other duties as well for foreign students. You know, that were sort of international students, sorry, that wasn't getting food. You know, around that time, the new term started, and the guys that were relying on the Gurdwara Langar, the Gurdwara was shut, so we was taking over for them as well. So that was on our toes. So to be honest, it didn't have any effect. Yeah.
What advice would you say you would give to somebody who is struggling? Someone that's kind of gone through the same thing as you.
It doesn't matter who you are, right? It doesn't matter how tough or how, if you're a pro boxer or a kickboxer or whatever, means nothing. It's normal to feel down. It is normal to feel down. Don't bottle things up. You know, reach out. There is help there. There is very very good qualified people out there that will help you. You know, but you need to reach out. You know, it's normal to feel down. You know, and again, you know, opening up is a sign of strength. Bottling up things is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Bottling up things in the mind, you know, you're just causing damage to yourself, putting strain on your relationship with your family, and it's a sign of weakness. So first step is open up and tell everybody, hey, you know what, I feel better. I don't care if anybody watching think, oh yeah, he's weak, and you know, I know how I feel, and I can honestly say
many years, and you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
You're only talking about it now is because you come to a breaking point.
Yeah.
Got it all out, and now you feel, you know, you've done what you can. And people think, oh, if you cry and stuff, oh God, it makes you weak. It doesn't. I think bottling up can really damage your soul.
You know, look, even grown men cry. Tough men cry. You know, I've had friends, I've had doormen, you know, with very big reputations in their areas, towns, cities, or wherever, and they've, you know, had a heart-to-heart with them. You know, they've cried on my shoulder. Just in a week, do you understand? It's normal. You just don't know what anybody's going through. You know what I mean? You know?
No, you don't. I always say, never turn someone away who's been open enough to come to you and just say, you know what, this is what's been going on for the last couple of years. I'm struggling. I just, you know, what do I do? Because a lot of people just shrug it off, and they're just like, you know, don't even give you like decent advice. At least you are more open in your, you know, with your own experience, you're giving people advice what you went through. Because now you're doing this, you know, video with me, which obviously hopefully will go out to everybody who is going through a similar situation to yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You obviously wanted to be in a better state of mind before you did this.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you are doing much better than what you were.
You know, I feel much better.
Yeah.
I feel as if I've got a new life. I feel like I've been reborn again.
Yeah.
And you know what? I can honestly say I'm ready to take on the world. I'm ready. I feel good.
Like, that you live more now, like in the moment, than having to wear that. Are you glad that that mask has now finally come off?
Yeah. I don't want to hide anything from anybody no more. Do you understand why? If I'm upset, I'll share it with people, whereas before I'll just keep it to myself and constantly thinking, you know, causing damage to myself. And now I feel as if I've rewired my brain. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know, before it was everything just tangled in my head. You know, constantly thinking. You know, when MLSS started, you know, the first couple of years, you know, boom, was at the third lane, bang, put our foot down. was doing really well. Then all of a sudden, traffic started building in my head. You know, constant thinking, and what were my thoughts? What were my thoughts? Thoughts were about other people, not about myself.
Yeah.
So I asked myself a question. I thought, hang on, wait there. If Guru Nanak Dev Ji knows you, right? Why care about the world? Right? Why care? I don't care no more. You hate me, right? If you like me, you like me. Why care, people? You know, but the thing is, sometimes, you know, when people tell you, you don't understand until you sit down, you know, spend time with yourself, meditate. You know, when you meditating, you know, your physical body will speak to your spiritual body. You know, you'll talk, and you get the answers. Hey ho, you're blessed. We're blessed that we've been given everything. Look, we got hands, we got feet, we got eyes, we got ears. You know, there's people out there, you know, that ain't even got that. There's blind people out there, you know, there's people that got hands, people that got legs, you know, and they're still happy. Do you understand? You know, you see videos on YouTube, you know, you get people bricklaying with one hand, and they're happy. You know, you get little children living in the slums, you know, with their brothers and sisters and their mums and dads, and they walk around playing in the mud and they're all happy. We've been given everything. Why aren't we happy? Do you understand? So, you know, and with me, I can honestly say it was all about people. Do you understand? I think people wanted to see me fail, right? They didn't like the success of MLSS. They didn't like the fact that MLSS was getting recognised in the UK, you know, for the fantastic work the whole organisation does. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of
you've got a really good team as well around you that has helped build it, and yet you're still getting haters for what?
Yeah,
it just genuinely makes sense to me.
That's life, isn't it? Not anything you do. You know, look, if you go to the gym, you're doing really well. You know, apart from your gym buddies, you know, your circle of friends, there'll always be people hating. Hang on, well, why does she or he look good? Do you understand? You know, if you're doing good in your business, you're turning over millions and millions of pounds, you know, again, you'll get negativity. You know, if you're doing good at college or universities, if you buy a new car, if you buy a nice house or 10-bedroom house, people will hate you. That's understandable.
I always find it's always down to the people that you know. It's like strangers are more inclined to help you and want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen that like doing blogs and stuff in my own personal life, and you just think, come on, like there's room for everybody to succeed. You don't need to not support your own.
You need to look. No, you know, with myself, I can honestly say, you know, when they say everybody has their own journey, everybody has a purpose in life. You know, my purpose in life is serving others. I don't care about bloody millions of pounds. I don't care about, you know, there's a stage where I didn't care about myself. Do you understand? You know, I don't care. All I want to do is help other people, because I know that is something that I'm going to take back with me when I leave.
Yeah.
When I leave this world, and you know what I mean. You know, that's something I'm going to take back with me. I'm not going to take my hater. I'm not going to take my bloody cars. I'm not going to take my houses. I'm not going to take my money. I'm not going to take anything. Nothing. I'm not going to take my own body. My body's going to stay here as well. Understand? I'm not even going to take my name. My name's going to stay here as well. Because when my soul goes there, he goes, Randhir, my soul ain't got a name because my soul belongs to him. Do you understand?
Well, do you remember when we spoke before? You know, you're saying that MLSS is going to be doing some well-being centres.
Yeah.
Is that regarding, because obviously what you've been through? What's something that you
To
wanted
be
to say
honest,
for a long time?
you know, to be honest, we was going to do that anyway. That's been been planned for the past few years, past 5 6 years, I'd say. You know, not just giving food. You know, yes, okay, you know, giving somebody food to eat is a big thing.
Yeah.
We change their life. You know, we want to take them out, the situation they're in. You know, get them back into society. But again, you know, we've had some delays. The delays we've had is people jumping on the bandwagon of MLSS, right, for their own benefits.
Yeah.
You understand? And not really interested in, you know, in the progress of MLSS just for their own benefits. To get our contacts, use our contacts. We've had all sorts. We've had people in all sorts of professions, you know, join MLSS and, you know, take our kindness for weakness. Do you understand? And again, very disheartening. So I'm glad in one way that I know it's going to happen, you know, and touch wood, you know.
It's a great idea.
Hopefully, touch wood. You know, I want really open up yet, but within the next month or so, you should be seeing something on social media. We've got something massive happening, something very big happening. But I'm glad in one way that Maharaj has taken his time because he's getting the right people involved. Had we done it 5 6 years ago, we would have failed because there was no honesty. You know, it doesn't matter what profession you are, whether you're a bloody lawyer, solicitor, means nothing. The biggest quality you need in charity is honesty. Do you understand? You don't need education.
You've got some great teams all around, like the UK. Do you know, I've met a few of them, and they're just, you know, you've got great people behind you, people that do obviously want to see the organisation like succeed. So that's one thing you should feel really blessed about. And MLS is just going from strength to strength.
You know, Sunita, I can honestly say, you know, I've said it from day one to all our team members. MLSS doesn't belong to nobody. It doesn't belong to myself.
Yeah.
I'm just the chosen one. I'm blessed to be the chosen one to set this up. But I can honestly say this is something that's been happening for 550 years. We've not started this off, right? MLSS is just a name of a organisation, just a name of people. The Almighty's got together to save humanity. You understand? You know, in MLSS, there's no everybody's equal. Whether you're the CEO, whether you're a trustee, whether if you're a committee member, whether if you're a area manager, whether if you're just a volunteer that comes out once a week, there's nobody higher than them, nobody lower than them. We're all equal. We're all one. You know, and I think that's the beauty of MLSS.
Yeah. It's a great charity. It's a great charity that loads of people want to get involved in. You know what I mean?
In our services as well, you know, we treat them special. You know, food we give them is the food we eat at home. You know, we won't just, you know, have nice food at home and bring them sandwiches or something. No, we'd give them special food. And the amount of love our volunteers put in the food, you know, they're putting positive energy, they're blessing the food, they're doing nothing, you know, and when we serve the food, we'll do what to ask for them as well. And we pray for them, put that positive energy into the food. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So,
So finally, is there anything else that you want to say to anybody that's going to listen to this video?
Yeah, guys, look, you know, like I said earlier on, be happy, be jolly, not the end of the world. You know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I've gone in detail on this video, on this vlog, about what I went through. You know, the reason, one of the main reasons why I'm doing this vlog is so that I can inspire other people to reach out for help. Do you understand? You know, I see this as a seva. You know, I see this as a duty. I see myself as a tool of the creator of Maharaj. I'm his tool. So if he's using me as a tool to do this vlog to inspire you to open up, you know, then for me, it's a damn good seva. Do you understand? You know, you've only got one life. You're lucky. You know, people out there that ain't got anything. You know, make the most of your life. Always remember God. Nam Jupo, give Guru Vanishapu. That's the principle of Sikhism. You know, principle of Sikh, one of the main principles. Nam Jupo, for those we don't know, for the non-Sikh people viewing this, Nam Jupo means always remember God. Kirta Karo means honest living. Vandashako means share with the less fortunate than yourselves, and that's the main principle of Sikhism. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this, because I know it wasn't easy for you to like go into so much detail, but I feel like you are doing really well. And if this can inspire other people, like you said, to come out and talk about things, then I'm really glad that we've done it. So I just want to say thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you very much.